here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. Call it no gain on the game's first. First play, and it's second down now.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. On second down, here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
He's coming.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Grant. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a second and 3. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They will run with Grant. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. He gets it to Brown. Complete. They pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 11. So they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate?
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. The sack by Terrell Suggs.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin with his first career NFL touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And able to find Kirk complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, that's a familiar connection right there. Christian Kirk was in the same class as Kyler Murray at Texas A&M. They played together as freshmen before Murray transferred. Kirk, though, he stayed in College Station, had a great 3-year career before being drafted 47th overall in 2018. Was having a solid rookie campaign last year, but then broke his foot in Week 13 and was shut down the rest of the way. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Here we go.
Jackson options out left. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Jackson, option right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Jackson, always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. They'll run on first down. Grant. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 22-yard line.
Check Mike 34. Mike 34. It's been a long day for you. 34's a Mike. 34's a Mike. He's coming. Check him. Check him.
From the 22, Jackson. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Miles Boykin with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Cardinals take over
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Jackson, option right. This is Grant. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st down, it's Grant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Terrell Suggs brought him down. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the Cardinals' 43-yard line.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Jackson, options out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhyme with skill.
Come on,
with desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 2nd down, Murray sets to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot. 3rd and long, sliding out of the pocket. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
Now Jackson on first down. Past the 20. This will be caught by Brown. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Shit.
Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Hassan Reddick able to get him for a loss of about 3.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they do.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Grant, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
6-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Jackson now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Jackson to throw again. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 51-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
A gain of 18 on the play. And a first down.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Ravens 31, Cardinals nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad reach it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
After the interception, here's Jackson going for the deep ball. It got his man complete. 33 yards that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Take four, take four.
Play action. It's Jackson. Steps away to his left. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. They'll run on first down. Grant. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the 22-yard line.
Set, hut. Take the Pittsburgh. Mike 34. Rick, rotate. Spell. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. He's set. He's coming. We got jump. Ready, go.
On second and 12, Jackson. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
34's the mic. 34's the mic. Come on.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Patrick Owasor. Able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. To throw, it's Murray. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Anthony Averett picks it. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Check. Fresno.
They go back to Grant. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Jackson now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Man, that's trash. Shoot! Wait! Echo!
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 14 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Now Murray off play action. Rolling to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, 78 yards. And the Cardinals claw one back. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. That'll go as a pickup of 8. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jackson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Now it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Army. Go. 34's the mic. He's coming. Check him. Hey, I'm coming.
From the gun, Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. picked off here by Jimmy Smith. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this play a lot like the previous one, thanks to that stout Cardinal defense. Back-to-back, they've been tackled behind the line. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Bird to return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000.
48, 48 Mike, 48 Mike. Coming to you, coming to you. Out, out, out.
Murray, one final try. This one caught by Isabella. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.